babies, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm bringing you guys an updated foundation routine slash the new MAC Pastel x9 palette tutorial. The reason I'm calling this an updated foundation routine is because the way that I applied my foundation in this video is the same no matter what I'm doing. So even though I might change the concealers that I use or I might change the foundation I'm using that particular day, the way that I applied it and the techniques that I used always stay the same. I feel like I've gotten a routine down that I really like and I'm really comfortable with. It gives me full coverage while still maintaining a natural look, I guess. I know a lot of people are into baking right now, and I do a variation of that, but I feel like the way that I apply my powder gives a better result and it lasts a lot longer without having that overly done, overly powdered look. MAC recently came out with a bunch of new x9 palettes and a new x15 palette. This pastel x9 palette I really love. When I first saw it, I really wasn't that interested in it, but when I got to play with the colors, this palette is gorgeous. I end up using this whole entire middle row here in this green and blue shade at the bottom. The palette's upside down. My lighting is a little bit bright right now, so it's not really going to show it true to color. I'm going to do a more in-depth, I guess, talking about this palette when I do my haul video, so I'm not going to go into it too much, but this is what I'll be using mainly today for this tutorial. So if you want to see how I got this look, then keep on watching. I'm mixing my baby skin primer in my Makeup Forever Hydrating Primer. I'm going to put that all over my face. And for foundation, I'm mixing the L'Oreal True Match in the shade N8 and my MAC Prolongwear Nourishing Foundation in the shade NC50. I'm just taking a flat top kabuki to blend that out. To make sure everything is smooth, I'm taking a clean Real Techniques powder brush and just patting the foundation in my skin. And to highlight today, I'm using my LA Girl Pro Conceal in the shade Cool Tan. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm first going to use a sponge to blend that out, but then I'm going to go back over it with the Real Techniques brush to make sure that there are no harsh lines. Brighten, I'm using my Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Biscuit, and I'm just going to blend that out into contour. I'm using the black Opal cream foundation in the shade Carob. To blend my cream contour, I'm really just pressing it into the skin with a sponge, making sure not to rub or swipe. I feel like doing it this way gives me a really flawless finish and makes sure that I get the most coverage out of my product. To set my highlighted areas, I'm using the Mercier translucent setting powder that has been mixed with a little bit of Very Nice Banana powder. And all I'm doing is dipping my sponge into the powder and using the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray to make sure that the powder is completely damp when I press it into the skin. And I'm just pressing it in stamping motions in all the areas I highlighted. I feel like this is what gives me that flawless finish and is the updated baking method. I'm using the All Nighter spray, but I'm sure any setting spray or hydrating spray will work for this. And to set my contour, I'm using I think this is the black Radiance powder in the shade Rich Mahogany. After I set my nose, I always go over with the sponge to make sure that there are no harsh lines and make sure that everything's blended. And then I'm going in with my Morphe Brushes E3 brush to make sure that there's no remaining powder left on my face. Using the MAC 24 eye base to prep my eyes, and I'm letting it dry so it gets a little tacky, and using the Morphe, I think that's the E27 brush, I'm going into Dusty Rose from the Anastasia Artist palette and blending that all into my upper crease. In that same brush, I'm going into my MAC palette and using MAC's Breath of Plum blush and placing that slightly below the Dusty Rose shade. The Morphe E28 brush, I'm using MAC's Big One eyeshadow, and I'm really just going to use the sandwich method. I wanted this eyeshadow look to be really smoky but still really soft, so I'm taking that on the outer and inner corners and dragging it into the crease to blend it out. Taking this really pretty metallic purpley mauve shade and placing that right on top of Big One. And I'm going to blend the two together so I can get a really nice smoky color, because The purple shade wasn't quite as dark as I thought that it was going to be, but it was still a really pretty combination. I'm using both the pink shades on the same spot on my lid, but I'm first going into that middle shade and really packing that into the center of my lid. And to make it a little bit brighter, I'm taking that last pink shade, which is almost like borderline white, and just adding that on top to add a little extra drama. Everything I did to my lid, I'm going to use my lower lash line, except instead of using a pink in the middle, I'm mixing that blue and green shade and putting that in the middle of my lower lash line. To highlight my brow bone, I'm using MAC's Full of Joy blush, and I'm going back into that Breath of Plum to make sure that everything is nice and smooth. To my face, I'm mixing Swiss Chocolate and Blunt Blush from MAC. And for blush, I'm going back into that Breath of Plum and just applying that on the apples of my cheeks and sweeping it upward towards my contour. I'm mixing two highlighters. The first is MAC's Full of Joy blush, and the second is the Oh Darling limited edition gold highlight from the holiday collection, also by MAC. For my lips, I'm using MAC's Bespoken for Prolongwear lip liner, and on top of that, I'm going to be using the new Retro Matte Liquid Lipsticks in the shade Define Divine, and to blend everything together, I'm using MAC's Lust Lip Glass. This step is completely optional, but I wanted to add a little glitter, so I'm just using a little generic mint glitter with my LA Splash glitter adhesive. On my waterline, I'm using this blue-green Kiko Cosmetics eye pencil. I'll list everything in the description bar below. I'm doing a wing because I feel like I lost my wing liner mojo, so I'm forcing myself to do a wing liner almost every day until I get it back. And I'm just going to set my face with that Urban Decay spray. I'm not sure what lashes these are, but I'm applying Too Faced's Better Than Sex mascara on my upper and lower lashes. So this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed, and as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.